What's up, everyone? So today I'm actually going to get started on taking out the transmission and engine. As you can see, it's kind of drizzling. It's been raining basically all week, but I have to get this done this weekend, so I have to start doing it now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move up the car a few feet forward so that we can fit the other 240 back there behind the gate. I don't want to get it too close to the trees because I'm going to be painting the engine bay. I don't have a little canopy or anything to go over it, so I'm either going to be putting it there or over there in the concrete area over there. But if I put it over there, I'm not going to have that much space to work with the hoist. So I'll probably just move it a few feet forward, and I'll get back to you when I do that. Alright guys, so I jacked up the car. I got it on 4 jack stands. I got the front up about 1.5 feet. Yeah, a good 1.5 feet. I didn't want to put it up any higher because, well, I don't like having cars that high. I'm not sure what the rating on those Harbor Freight jack stands are. I think it's 3 tons maybe. The back looked higher, but then I raised the front, so it kind of sagged a little bit down. That back tire is it's touching the floor, but I don't need that much space in the back. The exhaust, I'm gonna drop it, but there's way more than enough space in the back to work there. The front was my main concern, which I got it up pretty high. It actually started raining pretty hard, and then I stopped, and then I didn't want to get the jack wet, so I brought it back in. That's pretty much it. Once it gets a little bit drier, or once it stops raining, I'll open the hood up and start taking things out. Alright, so I got the hood propped up halfway because it's still raining. What I'm gonna start by doing is I'm gonna start taking out the intake and the components that lead to the intake manifold, just so that it makes a little bit more room there, since the throttle cable has to come out and everything to pull out the engine. For now, I'm gonna do that. Alright, so I got the intake out. I wanted to tell you guys what I normally do when I take out more than one component of the engine at a time. And what I do is I get let's say I disconnect this. I usually have the little labeler machine that you type in whatever, and then it prints out a little sticker, and I usually label each harness, each connector, what it does and where it goes. I ran out of that paper, and so what I'm just gonna do is my other option, if you don't have that, you can just get a piece of tape, write on it with a Sharpie, and just wrap it around. That works fine. I'm not sure how the engine harness fits on this car once the engine is out. I think it just hangs there. You can't really disconnect it from a main connector somewhere. But once I start taking this out, you're gonna start seeing a lot of little tapes and everything, so just so you guys know what that is, it's just me labeling stuff. Guys, I actually forgot to mention, make sure that you take out the negative battery cable from the battery. You don't want to, since we are dealing with the harness and everything in the front, you don't want to short circuit anything and damage something else. There you go. So I took out the MAP sensor and the elbow that goes right here. I'm going to take out the traction control with the throttle body as one piece. So I got to disconnect these two cooling lines. So I'm going to drain the radiator now, so I don't make a mess inside the engine bay. And then, but yeah, this new radiator that I got, the ECX Racing one, has a plug right there. So it's a lot easier, just unscrew this. And it should come out. There you go. It. And then I'll open this so that, there you go. Once that's all drained, I'll be taking that out. I might just take out the intake manifold off of the car. Well, I have to actually, because the harness is attached in there to the block. So yeah, that'll be fun. Alright, so I figured out you have to take out, or at least in my case, I had to take out this traction control piece because this little lip right here wouldn't let my tool go in there. I don't know if I have fat tools or maybe you just have to take it out, whatever. It's just two 10mm bolts. When I took it out, I remembered that I forgot to get Ziploc bags at Walmart. Usually what I do is I put the Ziploc bag, I put the bolts into the Ziploc bag and then I name it, whatever. Since I don't have them now, I just put them back on where they go so I don't lose them or forget where they go. So you can go with either way. I like using the Ziploc bags because you can like tape it to the piece or whatever, or just have it in the same box. This way it could fall out, or it'll sometimes it gets in the way when you're taking off this piece, but in this case it's fine. I'm gonna take out those 4 10mm bolts in there, down there, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so took that out, throttle body. I got to the throttle cable part. Now I remember this from the first time that I took it out when I first bought the car. This is a brand new cable, as you can see. Mine was broken, cracked right there. The throttle response was really crappy, like the RPMs would float in between shifts and everything. And it was because this rubber part was not here. I didn't have this rubber part with the old one. Basically because this is almost impossible to take out without ripping it apart. Hopefully this one, since it's brand new, it's more elastic, it's not hard. I'm gonna put some soap and water or WD-40 right in here. Hopefully it'll slide out easily. I tried looking for this piece. They do sell it. I mean, it's super hard to get it, but the thing is that once you get it, you can't really put it on because of this. So you're basically obligated to get a whole new cable, which was 35 bucks. So I'm gonna get WD-40, grab this, hopefully with a little pliers. I'll try to be gentle with it. I'm gonna have to put the camera down for it, obviously, so I don't rip it apart. Just letting you guys know to watch out for that, because it happened to me, so it doesn't happen to you guys. Okay, so it actually came out pretty, it took a little bit of force. I put some WD-40 on it, and it actually came out easier than I thought. But yeah, it did take some force to bring it out. From here, I already got all of this out of the way. You have to take the intake manifold out so you can get to the harness below it. These right here are the front O2 sensors connectors. You can disconnect it right here. These go down into the manifold, exhaust manifolds over there. You don't need to disconnect it now, but if you are planning to disconnect the fuel rails, which I am going to do that, you do need to take this out so you can take them out. It's going to be a connector right here, right here, and these two connectors, aside from the hard line connector where the gasoline flows through, and this bolt right here. Right, once you take that out, you can actually pull on the fuel rail up, and the O-rings on the injectors will loosen up and you can pull it right out. Once it's out, it's a lot easier to get to the nuts. That one's missing because I dropped it into the engine bay and I never found it. But it's a lot easier to get in there. See one right there. But you could do it without taking this out. I'm going to take it out because, I mean, I need to take it out anyway. So I'm going to take this out now, and I'm going to loosen all of the bolts, and I'll show you guys what's the next step to take out the intake manifold. Alright guys, so as you can see, I took this out. figured you can't disconnect it from the hard line unless you take out the intake manifold because it's hooked up under it. But you could just lean it out of the way. As you can see, clear sight of all the bolts. I loosened all of them. The last one is back there somewhere next to the injector over there. And you will need a little right angle attachment to get back there. Just loosen it enough so you can use your hand, because if you keep going it will fall. So you just got to stick your hand through back here and grab the nut back there. Got it. This finger. Got it over there. Spin it until it comes out. Grab it. Make sure it doesn't fall out. And then bring it back. There is one more bolt right there, which is for the oil dipstick tube. Once that is out, you gotta disconnect this sensor right here. Why is it not focusing? There you go. This sensor right here, this vacuum line right here, this can stay because it comes out with this is the idle control valve. It comes out with the intake manifold, and there is one more vacuum line, which is a really thin one back here somewhere. I remember it's back there, but it's really like thin. Here it is. See, it's back there, and it'll pull right out once you pull on this up, because it's really little. It's like this small. Other than that, you're gonna need to take out this oil line right here. This is for the oil separator. You just squeeze right here, and it should pop out. There you go. That's for the oil separator right there. And okay, yeah, I remember now. For that same tool for the oil separator, you have to take it out from down here. Same way, you just squeeze on it and pull it out, because there's this bracket right here, this bracket, and it won't let it come out. It'll snag on it. See right there, that right angle? So you just take that out. That's hard. Once that is out, make sure you got all the nuts, and you're pretty much free to just lift up and take it out. This will stay here on the next little cut that you guys will see. This is gonna be here, and this won't. Look at this little guy over here watching me work. Hello. Hello. What you doing? Hey. Yeah. Alright, so I managed to drop another bolt, another one. And since I'm taking the engine out, I'll probably find it eventually. But yeah, I got everything loose. Still haven't done that bolt. I'll get it now. Alright guys, so as you can see, I took out the intake manifold already. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this duct from the alternator. I'm going to take that out. I am going to take out the fuel rail. That's the disconnect right there. You get the little tool that goes here, and you slide it in like that, and it disconnects. You gotta make sure that there's no there's no fuel pressure. The way you do that usually is you can check right here. You unscrew this, and then it's like a little tire pressure thing. You just press it in. It should, if there's pressure, it should shoot gas out, which don't do it. Supposedly the way to take out the oil pressure, the gas pressure, is to open the gas cap where you fill up the tank. Open that up, leave it open, and it should relieve the pressure. I've never tried it, but I'm gonna try it now, and I'll let you know if it works. I've always just disconnected it here, and like it just, a little bit of gas comes out, not that much. So yeah guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. As you can see, all the wires and everything, it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's just see, like that bolt right there, that one over there, and like disconnect a few lines over here, and I could just move it all out, put it over there on top of the fuse box, and it should be out of the way. Actually, most of this stuff should come out of the way easily. I gotta find a way to mount something. Oh, actually, I can use that right there, if you can see it. Back there's a hole for the block right above the transmission. I can use that as a hoist point for the back of the engine, and I can use this one for the front. Yeah, looking good already. It's still actually raining over here, so I'm kind of working while in between the rain. And look, it's picking up right now again. Alright guys, so I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I disconnected the fuel injectors. I got it in my hand here. For some reason, this harness right here is for the fuel rail. For some reason, it goes straight into it, and like there's no connector here. So I opened this up and there's just bare wire in there. So whatever, for some reason, I mean, they should have put like a little connector here so you can just unplug it, but I have to hang this here basically because it's connected to the harness. And so I just took this out so I don't have to deal with this in the way, which is good at the same time because I get to take out the injectors and clean them out. So I'm gonna do that too. Putting this in the, well, okay, so I'm gonna put this in the back of the car, and that's how it is gonna stay like that. This is, I'll tie it up once I take out the harness and I'll put it over the windshield. I'll tie it over there with the harness so it's not in the way. I took out the fuel separator, I mean the oil separator. It goes connected with that right there, that fitting on the oil dipstick. I'm gonna start labeling all the harnesses now. The way I do it is I label something and then I unplug it and I keep going until there's nothing left plugged in. That's basically the way I'm gonna do it here. Alright, what's up guys? So I labeled everything. As you can see, I unhooked everything. There's this bolt right here, and then there's a bolt down there, that one right there, and the whole bracket comes out, and that's the whole bracket to hold the harness on. Well, actually there's another bolt right there and another bolt back there. They hold the bracket onto the block, so once I take that out, it's basically moving it out of the way, and then I'm gonna start taking out the radiator and all that good stuff. Alright guys, so you guys can see I took out the harness already. It was basically bolt right there, and one right here, and then one right here, and one down here. Took out the brackets that hold in the intake manifold. Oh, these are the tools I told you. There you go. Those are the ones that it takes out stripped bolts. Those little things right there, they tighten up when you spin the tool, when you torque it down, and it grips any. I didn't have any stripped bolts, but they were pretty rusted. See, they were pretty rusted, so I didn't want to risk stripping it, so I just used one of these. I tied it up there with zip ties, and it's pretty much out of the way. The only thing left connected to the transmission or engine is one cable back here. There you go, see it dangling there? I think that's the well, I'm not sure actually, but it goes to the transmission. So I was right that you can't take out the harness, you can't unclip it from the car, it has to hang there. So I'm gonna see how I paint the engine. I'll probably paint one side and then wait for it to dry and then move this over and then paint the other side. Right now I'm gonna take out the fan and the radiator hoses and the radiator itself. once I get that done, I'll probably start looking into taking out the, I'm pretty sure I could take out the lights with the front, but I mean I have to take it out anyway because I'm painting this part black. So yeah, I'm gonna start taking the radiator out and I'll see you then. Alright guys, so I took out the radiator, all the components for the radiator. Took out the heater hose that goes to the back, goes right there. Make some nice big space for it. I started disconnecting the headlights right here, labeling everything. Took out the horns to make some space. I figured, I was searching online, and I mean it's kind of simple to take out the front. The front end right here is basically this bolt right here. This one. Actually, you don't have to take these out because the whole front grille can come out. So it's the one over there, this one, and then 4 bolts here and 4 bolts on the one over there. And the whole front end comes out basically. Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah, but basically figured that I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to like take out this part, the bumper, the headlights, and I'll leave this on. I'll just swing the engine over. But the thing is that I don't know if it'll fit my hoist. I don't know if it'll go up high enough to bring the transmission over. So I mean, once I have the headlights off, I already started taking this one out. Once I have it out and I'll take the bumper out, I'll see how hard it'll be to do this, because the whole point I don't want to do this is because I don't want to disconnect my AC. The condenser, I don't want to disconnect it and then I'll lose the charge. I might just lose the charge and I'll recharge it later, because I do kind of want to take out the compressor with the engine. I'll figure that out in a little bit. But yeah, just giving you a heads up. I'm gonna start taking the headlights out and the front bumper, so when you see the car again, it will not have the headlights and the bumper. I'm also gonna clean up the headlights once they're out, since I'm already gonna have them out. So all right, so I took out the lights, the bumper cover, and the fascia that goes here, the grill. Still considering opening up decharging the AC, but I can't take it anywhere obviously now because I can't run the car. Should have done that before, but whatever. Considering just taking out the condenser and like hanging it up, like not disconnecting it, but I'll let you guys know what I come up with. So what's up guys, sorry for the noise, my dad's over there mowing the lawn, so if it's too loud, then I won't use this footage, but whatever. I took out the front bumper bar. I had a stripped nut right here. It took me a while to take it out. I finally got it out and I flung it into the canal. I'll get another nut and I'll screw it on there. I took out the bumper bar. It has like little hydraulic pushers on them. I'm gonna take out this auxiliary fan now. It was held on by a zip tie there and one down here. It has that bolt right there, that one over there, and I believe that's it because it's kind of loose already. See, it's kind of loose, so hopefully that whole thing just comes right out. I kind of think this is what this is for. Like, see how it's 2 pieces, this black part that connects to the condenser bracket, and then this piece that I'm gonna take out. So I might just use my brother to hold the condenser up while I take this frame out, the gray one that I'm gonna paint, and then I'll slide this one back on so that I can keep the condenser in there, but this will be gone, so I'll have a little bit more clearance right here. That way I don't have to decharge the system, the AC system, so that's gonna help out a lot right there. The reason I want to decharge it, if you don't know about AC systems, like, first of all, it's illegal to decharge into the air, into the atmosphere. Second, there's a green dye inside this system that just goes everywhere, and I don't want to mess up air, like paint everything on the floor and shit and get all dirty. Another reason would be that you can't just connect it back up and put some R134A in it. you have to evacuate the system. You have to vacuum it all out, all the air out, and then put it in. And sometimes you even have to oil it. So I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm just gonna see how I figure out taking this out. The harness is already basically pretty loose here. I think I can open the fuse box up and take out 2 relays, and like this whole harness comes right out. So I'm not sure if I'll do that or I'll just keep the harness there. Not that much of a problem. So I'm gonna take out the auxiliary fan and I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, so I took out the auxiliary fan from the front and I was right. See this bracket right here? The 2 bolts that I had showed you from the auxiliary fan were bolted there and there. And there was nothing on this one and this one. That's where I told you that it was zip tied or whatever. So what I did was, when I took out the fan, instead of putting the bolts back in here, I put them here so that the condenser can be attached to that. And I had already taken out the bolts from here and here, holding the condenser up there. So right now the condenser is only being held up by this black bracket. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to be taking out the hood latch right there. This is part of this, and this right here, which is this bolt right there. I think it's a Torx 25 or a Torx 30. When I take that out, I'll wrap it around over here. I'll keep it there, and then I'm going to take a look at the wiring and see whether I open up the fuse box and take it out, or maybe, because it continues over here, or maybe I could just take out this one that's right there from the power block right here and just swing it around and put it over there. But yeah, I'm basically almost done taking out the front end. The only thing that's left is this bolt right here. It looks like a Torx 20 or a Torx 25, and same thing right here. I will be taking out the fender just so that so I don't have to mask it. So I don't have to mask it with and waste paper or tape. I can just pull it out and then just paint the whole thing black and not worry about painting my fender. So yeah, I'm gonna see. My brother's still not here from work, so I'm gonna see if I can do this myself. It shouldn't be that hard, but I'll let you know how it goes. As you can see, I took out the front frame. The wiring right here, it looked like a lot more, but sorry about that. Yeah. It was only the 2 wires that basically I had hooked up back here to this relay for the fan. If you guys remember that. All I did was unplug them, and basically the whole thing shifted over. And then I took out that ground right here, and now it's right here. This is the whole harness hanging out right there. I decided I'm not gonna take out the relays from inside the box, because unless I actually take out the fuse box to paint around it, which I might not, because you can hardly see that corner over there anyway. I might just put some paper over it and spray down the corners over there. You know, I mean, it's not going to be a complete job. I'll half-ass that little corner over there just to keep all those components there, because that's basically the brake reservoir. I don't know what that pump right there is. I have no idea. You know, like all of this stuff, I mean, I might be able to take out things like this, easy things. But like the pumps with, like, see, like the hard lines and stuff, I don't want to mess with that. So right now, engine wise, I'm almost done. What I would need to do is disconnect the power steering reservoir and then disconnect the AC compressor and hang it up somehow, like about right here. I'll hang it over with wire right here, and then I'll disconnect the secondary air pump. I'll disconnect that. Basically it's just those 2 bolts down there. Pretty easy. Matter of fact, not even. I could just take out this hose and take this out with the engine. I do have to take out this cover right here to expose the ignition coils, so that I can unplug this right here, which goes to this sensor, this connector over here. I'll just unplug that and I'll be gravy. That's about it. Now I'm gonna start going down under the car down there and disconnecting the exhaust. I'm gonna take out the entire exhaust just because it'll be easier to do everything else. It'll be a lot easier to work with the transmission and everything and the drive shaft, and at the same time I can go take it to get it welded. So yeah, looking pretty good. That's how the car looks without the front end. Alright, I'm gonna start getting the exhaust out and I'll let you guys know how that goes.